Love. You never know when it's gonna hit you, or how. Maybe you're a donkey and discover that the love of your life is, in fact, a dragon. That's quite normal, right? Wait. Actually, that's a little bit strange, isn't it? More often than not, it can be surprising whom your heart chooses. And in the world of animation, you never know when love could be in the air. Hi, I'm Adrian with ChannelFrederator, and today we're looking at those oddball couples we'd never guess Cupid would pair together. But love is blind and these are cartoons, so anything is possible. Time to cozy up with a loved one, because we're counting down the top 14 weirdest cartoon couples, and since love can blossom at any moment, be warned, because there's spoilers up ahead. Let's get started. Number 14, Gumball and Penny from The Amazing World of Gumball. These two are so precious, it doesn't even bother us that they're technically a cat and a shape-shifting peanut fairy. Gumball and Penny remind us of our innocent childhood, but have that sophistication of a matured couple. These two have grown beyond their shy days and have become quite the supportive pair. Even after Penny's shell cracks, Gumball adores his allergic to peanuts Peanut. He helps her see that she's beautiful inside and out, even when her father couldn't. And though some might consider her to be a shape-shifting monster, and we won't lie, a lot of her forms aren't as cute as she is, Gumball sees her for who she is, the love of his life. Or at least his childhood. Even Penny admits they're only 12. Who knows what the future will bring? For now, this odd but lovely couple keeps our hearts beating. Number 13, Mabel and Mermando from Gravity Falls. Close your eyes and pucker your lips. This next duo is all about a fishy first kiss. After meeting in one of the least sanitary places possible, the Gravity Falls public swimming pool, Mabel couldn't get enough of the merboy hottie Mermando. But even though he'd always be close, a swimming pool is no place for a growing merman. Mabel tossed aside the selfishness in her heart and helped Mermando find his way back to the sea. After a sweet parting kiss, we want nothing more than for Mabel and Mermando to one day reunite in love. We really think it sucks that he's been forced into a marriage. Get it? Mermaid marriage? Sorry, we'll stop. Anyway, we get warm fuzzies inside when we remember that Mermando often sent messages in a bottle to Mabel, reminding her that their special moment lives on in his 17 hearts. Number 12, Mark Chang and Vicky the babysitter from The Fairly OddParents. Remember how crushes used to mean someone would be picking on someone else? We kind of have a reverse situation going on in The Fairly OddParents. Mark Chang adores Vicky because of her rotten attitude. He admires how she loves chocolate shakes because chocolate would kill him. He gets super depressed when she isn't around and yelling at him, and he would go to the ends of the universe for her. The one thing he can't stand is when she does show him affection, such as a hug. As a constant on-again, off-again relationship, we think Vicky isn't aware that her sometimes boyfriend is actually an alien prince from Yugopotamia, thanks to his fakeifier. We're also willing to bet that Mark is constantly humming, "Hey Vicky, you're so fine, you blow my mind," to himself, even if he sometimes looks at other human girls during their breaks. Number 11, Wallow and Gale the Glendalian from Bravest Warriors. We may not know much about this couple's past, but we do know that the connection between Wallow and Gale the Glendalian is as passionate as ever. When Gale calls the Bravest Warriors to come and save her home planet, she needs no introduction to her past fling. Wallow can't hide his feelings for her, but Gale will hear nothing of it. Eventually, the Glendalian comes clean. She still harbors deep feelings for her former lover. The power of Wallow and Gale's makeout session is strong enough to calm a spazzed out time vortex like that of a true love's kiss. Too bad we all have that one jealous friend, or at least Wallow does. Pixel, Wallow's possessive robotic glove, literally tears the pair apart, going as far as making Wallow use his own hand to end the happy reunion. And because it all happened in an alternate timeline, Wallow and Gale are back where they started, apart and full of moop. Deep in our hearts, we're still rooting for you, Wallow and Gale. We'll always be rooting. Number 10, Mordecai and Princess Mantis from Regular Show. Before you go giving chocolates to your crush, take note from Regular Show's main man, Mordecai, and make sure it won't be mistaken as a proposal. Otherwise, before you know it, you may become engaged to an alien species that rips the head off its mate immediately after the knot is tied. Talk about a relationship hurdle to get over. Here, we thought that just asking someone out was nerve-wracking. It's no surprise Mordecai was not down to become Princess Mantis's honeymoon chow, so the engagement was very short-lived. Goes to show there are times that you should stay away from those weird relationships, where you sense something's off, especially if it ends in your demise. If you do find yourself in a similar predicament, make sure her father can't pheromone an army of mantis to come after you for revenge. Relationships can be a bit rough. Number 9, Plankton and Karen from SpongeBob SquarePants. You know those old married couples that bicker all the time, but it strangely makes them look all the more perfect together? A romance just like that is bubbling down at Bikini Bottom. Plankton and his computer wife Karen are the prime examples of an odd-fitted but perfect match. Their love goes beyond the barriers of logic. Karen doesn't even have a heart, but loves her husband unconditionally. The rest of Bikini Bottom may see Plankton as an evil, Krabby Patty obsessed genius, but that's exactly what Karen loves about him. Sure, Sure, Plankton might take the credit for all of her schemes, but true relationships are full of ups and downs. It's called compromise. At least Plankton cares enough about Karen's opinion to ask her what kind of napkins they should use at the chum bucket. Without her, Plankton is rendered useless and forgets the most basic functions, like blinking. Who forgets to blink? An undersea microscopic organism in love with his computer wife, that's who. Number 8. Pikachu and his ketchup from Pokemon. Of course, there can be no love as strong as that of Pikachu and his ketchup. Sure, we all know that there's nothing quite as perfect as finding the right condiment, but Pikachu has an age-old romance with ketchup, dating all the way back to the original series. When met with a bottle of the stuff, he'd give it a little nibble straight from the nozzle. We like to picture them as tiny kisses. And don't even remind us of the time Pikachu cried over the broken bottle of ketchup. Truly a tragic moment for us all. In fact, to honor the Electric Mouse's enamor, Heinz released a special edition bottle with Pikachu's smiling face on it in 2002. So cute. But several years passed before you get to see this true love reunited. When it did, it came back strong. Like many in love do, Pikachu wrote a song dedicated to his love, and though our Pika translator was busy, we feel assured to suggest Pikachu is indeed singing about his undying love for the red umami sauce. Ketchup, I think it's safe to say that Pikachu chooses you. Number 7. Ice King and Princess Monster Wife from Adventure Time. If you can't find the one, you can always make them. At least that's what Ice King did. Stealing his favorite parts from Oo's various princesses, Ice King Frankenstein himself his perfect soulmate. What seems a bit creepy actually turns out quite cute. Ice King does everything to make sure his new bride feels confident. Like when food fell out of her poorly stitched mouth, he sweetly copied the action. He even tells her he'd love her without all her lady parts, but putting together parts of different people is a no-go, and after learning what she truly was, Princess Monster Wife gave back all of her pieces. As crazy as he is, it's nice to know Ice King had someone for a day who was happy to be with him. Number 6. Bender and Lucy Liu's head from Futurama. We may not have seen much of Bender and Lucy Liu's head's romance on screen, but we were there at its conception. Futurama is set 1,000 years into the future, where humans, aliens, and robots coexist and are free to mingle, if you know what I mean. You can even download an existing person's image into the body of a robot. However, Bender had an adamant rule against humans and robots dating, and was extremely bothered that Fry was with a robot Lucy Liu. But if there's one thing Bender's good at, it's bending, so it shouldn't come as a surprise that he ended up bending his own rule. After saving the real Lucy Liu's head from the dating company, the actress fell in love with Bender's hunky metal bod. The two ended up getting together immediately after Fry heartbrokenly deactivated his own Lucy Liu. We can't help but think that Bender is the Mr. Steal Your Girl of the future. Bender also stores Lucy Liu's head inside his body. Isn't that, romantic? Number 5. Seuss and Giffany from Gravity Falls. Do you remember that time in Gravity Falls when Seuss was looking for a girlfriend and ended up dating a sentient yandere video game character? There's nothing like a girlfriend who'd kill to be with you, except for the fact that it's sort of the most terrifying thing ever. Giffany exists inside the dating simulator, Romance Academy 7, which was intended to teach the cuddly Seuss how he should interact with real-life girls. But he became so addicted to playing the game that Giffany became addicted to him. When he was finally ready to meet a tangible date, Giffany became outraged. He was her senpai. Giffany tried to download Seuss, but realized that the level of obsession wasn't love, and melted her CD-ROM. Don't worry though, Giffany escaped and found love with Rumble McSkirmish. Guess this is your reminder to beware when playing a dating simulator, especially one that might be glitchy and possessed. Number 4. Beemo and Bubble, Air, from Adventure Time. We know you've heard of how, when you love someone, they'll always be in your heart. Well, what if they were everywhere you went? Beemo has that special someone in Bubble. From Beemo's initial lack of interest, to raising a baby together and not deciding on its name, to having to let that child go, Bubble realized that it felt at home when it was with Beemo and decided to propose, not fully understanding what that means. But then, pop! Bubble's gone, and Beemo fears that this love is lost. We hear you, audience. Fear not, Bubble is actually air, and it tells Beemo that no matter where it goes, it'll be there, forever. Sounds a bit stalkerish to us, but innocent little Beemo can't help but cheer. To each their own, except that, I guess, air is with us all. Ooh, that gives me shivers. Number 3, Rick and Unity from Rick and Morty. Sometimes people fall for each other due to their minds. That's definitely the case with our next couple, Rick and Unity, a literal hive mind. Though Summer says they go together as well as leggings and mid-calf boots, we think the two make quite the pair. Two geniuses that have an odd way of looking at the universe. Who else fits? It's just that Rick isn't the best influence on the collective hive mind. It loves that Rick doesn't change even when he changes others, but knows that it can't be with him any longer. Otherwise, it becomes too reckless. And while we're used to Rick bouncing back into the same old sloppy self after what should be an emotional event, he's devastated. It looks like Rick really does have a heart, and we're not getting teary-eyed. You are. Number 2. Jean and the Outside Toilet from Bob's Burgers. When looking for love, we need someone who's always there for us. Someone who's willing to see the worst in us and accept it. Jean Belcher found that someone in the outside toilet. Jean stumbles upon the extremely expensive toilet in the woods and befriended him. Dazzled by its fancy features, Jean does what no one has ever dared to do. He develops a relationship with the talking bidet, one the world has never seen the likes of before. Perhaps it's just us, but there's something poetic in that outside toilet replies to Jean's final sentiment of love by asking him if he needs to barf. Outside toilet will always have Jean's back, even towards the end. We'll never look at our toilets the same way ever again. Number 1. Tree Trunks and the Aliens and Mr. Pig from Adventure Time. Ever feel abducted by your own emotions? This last one definitely hits the mark there. The crown for the weirdest, but kind of beautiful relationship on this list goes to the Adventure Time couple of Tree Trunks and her husband, the alien. Yes, we know, she's also married to Mr. Pig, but what's to keep a polyamorous elephant from being with her second extraterrestrial family? Especially when there are tiny alien babies in the picture. Sure, the aliens may be a little strange at first, but Tree Trunks embraces them into her life, unafraid by their differences. Tree Trunks waits years for her space family's visitations, but she doesn't obsess over being apart from her out-of-this-world love. Instead, she goes on with her life and starts a new family with Mr. Pig and Sweet Pea. Not to mention that she even admits to loving Mr. Pig more than her spaceman. This little elephant doesn't let a relationship define her. She defines the relationship. We have a lot to learn from you, Tree Trunks. Never change, even if it means you'll keep weirding us out. Thanks for watching the top 14 weirdest cartoon couples. Which match made in, heaven is your favorite? Are there any other oddball couples we missed? Let us know in the comments below. And if your true love is cartoons, give this video a like and make sure to subscribe to catch all our latest content. Cause remember, Frederator loves you.